Hi, everybody. Welcome back. I hope you had a great weekend. I hope you have had some really, really good time with yourselves, with your friends, with your loved ones, doing stuff that is just amazing self care. We kind of came to the end of some weather that we've been dealing with on the weekend. And today feels a little different, a little cooler, a little, I don't know, a shift. Well, it's the 1st of August, right? So I have stuff to talk to you about. It's a really, really interesting week already, and it's, it's only Tuesday. So I had a visit with Lance Morin on the weekend. Lance is the creator, the originator, the chief cook and bottle washer of Fanaticon Ottawa. And he had kind of an issue. He's invited every year to go on the local cable community television stuff to talk about Fanaticon and to show all kinds of great stuff that is what the show is about. And this year he had a conflict. This year he had a scheduling conflict. So he reached out to me and he said, "What are the odds I could get you to go on television instead of me?" And I said, "Oh, gee, oh, I don't know. Get out of my way." Anyway, he stopped by with this amazing box of stuff. And then he was looking at all the stuff that I've got piled on my dining room table. And he said, "Oh my God, are you bringing all this to the show?" And I said, "Yeah. Do you think that's a mistake?" He said, "No. Oh my God. Oh, look. Oh my God, this. Oh, I want that shirt. Oh, and I need that." And I thought, all right, then I'm on the right track. Anyway, Lance and I were talking about a couple of interesting things that have changed in the last couple of years about Fanaticon and about events and about people. And I was explaining to him, when I wrote the Fame book, one of the things that everybody was talking to me about. Good morning, Charles. The convention is right around the corner. I know, right? August 13th. Woo-hoo. Um, the thing that has changed in the last couple of years is everything we thought was how people like us do things like this got turned on its side, upended. And the way we learn and the way we cope and the way we connect and the way we reassure ourselves that we got this is a process that we've always used our whole lives, actually our whole species. And it's called mirroring. When you think back, the way a parent teaches a little one how to eat, they pick up the spoon, right, and they get some goop on it, and then they bring it to the little kid's mouth, and they go like this, and the little kid does the same thing, and in goes the food. And sometimes the kid says no, and boom. How the eating process, how the walking process, how the everything process is acquired by us is by mirroring. We copy the person in charge. When we leave home, it's one of the reasons we gravitate to really dominant kids in the playground, in the classroom, because we are looking for the person who looks like they've got it going on. And so we are always mirroring the person we think knows the rules, has the book of instructions. So what happens when a brand begins, when an idea starts, is we have people at a certain place and we tell them what we're doing and they say, "Okay, got it." And then they buy in. So Fanaticon from the very beginning has been a grassroots, small, really cool community collection of people who love toys and collectibles, who really enjoy remembering their childhood by looking at all the stuff that they keep and they gather and they souvenir. And Lance and his partner Sebastian, I don't mean life partner, but Sebastian is the logistics guy, and Lance is the creator and the PR and the host, right? So the two of them, between them, have always had this idea, having been vendors at shows, that if they were ever going to create a concept, a show, a convention, They were going to create something that was 100% focused on two things: the vendors who bring and the visitors who buy, who visit, who love, who want to connect, because they wanted to create a community that was all about sharing the passion that they all have, that we all have. So when he talked to me the first year, he said, I can't think of anybody I would rather have as our first celebrity than the mom I watched on television, because everything about you and your family was inclusive. And I felt, I would come home from school and I would watch you every day. I've got my own mom, but you're my other mom. You're my TV mom, and I'd like you to be Fanaticon mom. And I said, I think we could do that. I think we can do that, kiddo. So when I was talking to him on the weekend, I said, I think it's time to up the game in terms of what you're talking about. And I think we want to make it clear who the fanatics are, right? Because you're calling it Fanatic Con. Comic Con is comics, right? And all the, places that are named for cities, they're named for what goes on there. Pensacon is Pensacola, Florida, San Diego. It's all the places where people are gravitating for a specific reason. How is FanaticCon different? It's because the people who come, the fans, are different. The fans believe in us. The fans love us. The fans want us to be and do the things we've always done that made them feel the magic. We want people to understand that as our fanatics, we are there with you, for you. And I said, Lance, I have always said, without the audience, it's a rehearsal. There is no show. The fans are the show. They come to see what we're doing this time, and we show up and share it. That's how it works. And right now, I believe we need that kind of feeling more than we've ever needed it before. And it's the big reason why I've done a small shift at my booth from last year. Last year was a riot. I don't know why it took me so long to think of it. Everybody who came to my booth suddenly found themselves being famous. It was fabulous. I mean, of course, we always do the feather boas and we always take the pictures, but this time I had them autographing stuff. I had them posing, like divas for the paparazzi. So this year I have 2 photographers because one isn't enough. And I have a couple of extra things that they're going to be able to do once they are all diva'd up, so that it's a very interactive experience at my booth. And why am I doing that? Because we need a little bit more oomph. We need more magic. We are tap dancing as bravely and as valiantly and as loyally as we can, but we kind of got the wind knocked out of us a few years ago. And we've been working on getting it back. It just doesn't seem to be kicking in. So my topic today on today's video is going to be about mirroring. And the fact is that we're not doing anything wrong. It's not us. We are doing exactly the right thing. The problem is we're using the wrong mirrors. Who knew? So before I get to that, I want to show you a couple of things that I think are really cool. So because I'm building a new show, I want people to be able to take away, when they come to the booth and they talk to me and we do that fabulous thing that we do with all of you. I want you to be able to take away something that you can think about and then get back to me. Okay. So this is the poster that I had done, and it's me over here. That's me in the corner. And over here, this is the project. This is the project the show is for. Okay. And on the back of the card, this tells you all about the show. And this is the why. This is our why. Okay. Posit Partners is our why. And I will go into that in more detail. So anyway, this is the business card. Oops, upside down. Typical. So this is the business card, and this is the postcard, right? So what you're seeing is me on the front and the idea on the back, me and the idea, and then the show. Okay. And then, because I want to hear from you, And there's never enough time. You come to the booth and we've got all this great stuff on the table, and how much is that? And what can I do for this? And what is going on here? And how does this work? And it's busy and it's fun and it's exciting and it's highly interactive. And we really never get time to have a conversation about anything. So what I did this time is I created a checklist. Okay. And it's on pads and there's tons of them. So, you can fill it out. You can take it away. You can bring it back. You can take it more than one and give it to a friend. And the idea is that I want you to bring them back because I need the information. So what I'm basically saying is I want to get to know you a little more in depth. So when and where did we meet? That's the first one. And it's a thing you fill in. And then please check the boxes for more information. If you want to know how to hire me, on what the new One Woman Show is going to be about, tickets, where you're going to get them. And then when I'm doing shows, I'm going to need an elite crew. And so I'm going to be looking for volunteers who love the idea of working, being in show business, being on the inside with me. I can special order. This year I've found a way to special order some of my merchandise, sign it and autograph it. So if you want that, and whether you want to attend any of my workshops, and if you want to sign up for the online workshops. And then there's a really cool thing here. It says, describe your superpower. We all have one. And here, you're going to tell me what your magic is. Okay? I wish I could be there, but we will be there soon. I know, Charles, it's amazing. I can't wait. So this, I think, is really going to be an opportunity for us to have a more in-depth conversation. Because, oh yes, and these are the other two things. These are goofy, and I just love them to death. So they're called lazy thumbs, and they come in mom's glove yellow and slime green. And what I use them for is to hold my phone. I don't even know where my phone is. So yeah, so your phone just fits in there, right? Or you can stretch it out so your phone fits sideways. And the reason I love it is because it gives us an opportunity to just have the phone. Right. And it stands by itself. It stands on the desk, and you can hook the phone there. Anyway, these are lazy thumbs, and they're just wonderful. And I love them. And I had a few left over from last year. So I'm going to be bringing these as well. So I wanted you to know that they're coming back. So I have, just to kind of add it all up. So I've got Care Bears shirts. I've got signature Care Bears sunglasses, like the Friend Bear, Wish Bear, Level Up Bears, right on the arm. Abby's on the other side. I've got, of course, the wristbands. I've got hats. And then for You Can't Do That on Television, I've got T-shirts. I've got Valerie Prevert T-shirts with the lockers, and I've got Barth T-shirts with the burger. And I've got You Can't Do That hats, and of course the wristbands, and You Can't Do That sunglasses. So that's all that stuff. And I've got a ton of great Care Bears themed games, which are just a riot. And then the pièce de résistance, the cherry on the icing on the cake of our event, is last year all the crazy pictures that John Major took. I put together as a collage. And then I had it created as a puzzle. So the puzzle is 20 inches wide, 15 inches high. And the pieces come in this really cool white metal box with the picture on the front. And it's all you guys. This is not one of my former shows souvenir. This is you. This is you souvenir. This is Fanaticon 3 last year souvenir. And I'm going to do it again for next year. So from the pictures that we take this year of you all dressed up, all autographing things and being divas, we're going to have new puzzles next year. How much fun is that? So the booth is going to be busy. The booth is going to be fun. The booth is going to be the place you come to step into your magic with me. I'm going to show you how it's done. All right. That's the difference. What is it that Abby mom, what does Abby bring to Fanaticon? Abby celebrates the fans. Abby celebrates our superpowers. Abby celebrates our magic. Abby opens a portal and ushers you in. That's what happens at my booth. So if you've been before, when you walk in and it's busy, busy, wonderful, wonderful, at the far end, along the back wall, there's a stage with a DJ and fabulous music. And my booth, my double booth, is right beside the stage. So there's a photographer for Fanaticon, and then I think there's Lance's Canada's Worth driver booth, and then I think there's the cosplay champions booth, and then the stage, and then me. And then one of our fabulous guest celebrities has the last little booth right at the corner. And probably across from me, as usual, is Kurt Lenner, who's just this wonderful cartoonist and caricaturist. So we have Celebrity Row, and the great thing of being right beside the stage, of course, is that we get the benefit when you come on that booth. We have all the great music, and you're also right there for the cosplay contest. So it's active and interactive and really fun there. So that's happening on the 13th of August. Today being the 1st, that means it's 12 days away. Okay, so the video today, what I have been realizing, because I'm trying to come up with the aha that gives everyone that, oh my gosh, that's what's wrong. Yes, I've been looking for that. I've been looking for it. I've been looking for it. And you know what happened this morning? I saw it. And I said, there we go. There we go. So here it is. Before I take you right into the meat of it, I'm going to tell you two stories. The first story is about a restaurant that was very popular in this little village just south of Ottawa, where I live. The village south of Ottawa is called Manotick, and this little restaurant was called the Manotick Tea Room. And they were famous for their desserts. They had exquisite food. However, the thing that put them over the top was their desserts. And I was in there one day because, hello, dessert. And I got up to go to the bathroom, fluff my hair. And as I walked past it, so it had, I don't know, 4 or 5, maybe 6 pillars in this tea room. It was very Victorian. It was really very sweet, wonderful little place. And they had these pillars every so many feet to keep the roof from falling in. A very old building. And as I walked by the pillar, and they all had mirrors on them, all the pillars. So 6 or 8 mirrors on all 4 sides. And as I walked by, I sort of looked at myself and like this, and then I stopped. And I looked again. And then I thought, maybe it's just me. And I went to the next column and I looked at the mirror and I thought, no. And I went to the next one, I looked, and I turned around and I walked back to the front where the owner was standing with a big grin on her face. And I said, those are skinny mirrors. And she went, and I said, you're using skinny mirrors. All the columns have skinny mirrors. And she said, well, dessert. And I said, oh my God. You have that one piece of pie, you go to the bathroom, you see yourself in the mirror, and you say, well, perhaps I'll have another piece of pie. Look how fabulous I look. Little disenfranchising when you get home. Oh, well. And I said, have they always been? And she said, yeah. I thought, that's a genius move, really. It's a genius move. Because what happens when the person looks in the mirror before they go to fluff their hair is to see, if they've got spinach in their teeth, or the button has come undone, or their hair is all crazy, right? That's what they're for. And when you look in the mirror and you see how fabulous you look, you're instantly 3 inches taller and 10 pounds lighter. You're certainly, I thought, that's the smartest thing I've ever thought I would ever see. We are not worthy. And she grinned and she said, don't tell anybody. And I said, oh, well, not now, I won't, but later. later when it's safe. So that's the first hint about the subject today. The second one was this. At one point, I moved for the, I don't know, 11 millionth time, and I rented a house. Um, it was the most remarkably odd house, and I was fascinated by how crazy and eccentric it was. It had padding on all the doors on the front. I mean, the outside doors. It was like fake leather, but with padding. So when you knocked on the door, it didn't go fum fum fum. It went foof foof foof. And there were other very strange things. Among the very strange things, downstairs in the basement, there was like a home theater room, and they had, you know, comfortable furniture, and oh yeah, the place was furnished, which was perfect for me at the time. So it was furnished, comfortable furniture. There was a wet bar, and there was a little uh, wood stove, really rustic. But there was this very odd thing on the wall behind the bar. And when the person who was renting the house, you know, walked through the house with me, and I'm downstairs and I looked at it, I said, what is that for? And the woman said, my husband thought it was decorative, so we've kept it. So here's what it was. It was like 2 foot by 1 foot frame, and in it was a mirror that had shattered. And they had put all the pieces back together and glued it into this frame. And I said, so is the idea that this is how I'm going to look after I've had a couple of drinks, and therefore, what the hell? And she said, no, he just thought it would be really interesting the way it caught the light. Okay, then. And I said, so no 7 years of bad luck or anything? She said, not so far. Okay. So I was in that place for a couple of years, and then it was time to move on. And as is the case with military kids. And every time I walked down the stairs and walked into that room, that was the first thing I saw. And I never, in all that time that I was there, I never walked up and looked at myself in the mirror. Not once. I didn't want to see a reflection of me shattered. And by the way, could I take it down? No, it was like the whole thing was permanently affixed to the wall. I didn't have to, crowbar it. I was only renting. So this is my thought today, and I want to walk through it with you. When we are raised, when we are children, we learn by imitation. We learn by mirroring all the things that our alpha leaders do. We learn everything that way. We learn how to eat. We learn how to get most of the food onto the fork and off the plate and into the mouth without wearing it. But in that process, that's why they invented bibs, of course, and napkins and whatnot. We learn how to walk. We learn how to tie our shoes. We learn how to put our clothes on. We learn how to navigate doorways. We learn how to walk through crowded spaces. We learn how to pay attention and look both ways before we cross the street. Every single thing we do is something we are imitating, something we learned by copying, by mirroring the alpha guiding us through. Not only do we learn the doing, but we learn the thinking processes as well. We learn to say the things we've heard others say. And how many times has a small child of yours heard you say something and then repeated it in front of all the wrong people? My dad used to say when we would go someplace, say nothing. He didn't try to make a list of all the things I shouldn't. He would just say nothing. Yes, Daddy. That only worked till I was about 13. And then, you know what? Abby me emerged triumphant. So because this is how it works. This is how we find the quality we need to master our moment. We do what our alpha has done. We lean in the way they lean in. We step up the way they step up. And we also stay home the way they stay home. We walk away the way they walk away. Because it's all we know. It's all we've ever known. So the thing that has bothered me, has troubled me, has confused me, that started me on this whole pivotry journey a few years ago, 3 years ago now, is how people were struggling during the pandemic. Because as a military kid, I navigate my way through all temporary situations. I look for, as a military kid, as a Viking, navigators, right? We find the clear path. We find the open water. We look for and recognize the pitfalls and say, left turn, check please, and find the better path, the route that is going to be the best for us to reach our destination. I have always done this because really it was the only way. It is the only way that brats are raised. And I began to realize that everything that I was seeing in the way other people were behaving was missing the thing that I was taught. I wasn't born knowing how to do all these things that I do. I learned them. I learned them by mirroring, by watching and doing and repeating until I got gooder at it. And they didn't have that opportunity. And I said to myself, so what we've all done at any time in our lives when something has happened that we didn't expect is we've gone into our memory bank. This is without really thinking. We've gone into our memory bank and we've pulled up the thing we learned before. Well, good morning. Hello. We've remembered the way it happened last time. And that's what we've done. Every time. All the time. Because this is how we survive. When you watch these documentaries of the jungle, you watch these documentaries of Africa, the savannah, you watch the predators, you watch the prey, you watch how they all imitate each other in order to survive, in order to thrive, in order to reach their goal on that particular day, in that particular moment. It's learned behavior. It's not, I wonder what happens if I do this. It's learned behavior. And we are mirroring the thing we learned that saved us, because that's what we know. Everything is about survival. So once upon a time, not too long ago, everybody was going about their day. Everybody was going about their business, doing that thing that they do. And along came a pandemic. And a pandemic looked like and felt like and sounded like a cold, or maybe the flu, or maybe some other respiratory thing, that kind of funky blah, except that it wasn't. Except that in a lot of cases, it got very serious very quickly. And to our everlasting astonishment and terror and shock and frustration and fear, people died. And we didn't know what to do because there were no instructions. And the people writing the instructions were changing the instructions every day because this pandemic was new. They didn't know what to tell us and what to do. They were guessing. They were tap dancing as fast as they could and saying, try this. It's better than trying nothing. And there were lots of people who said, I don't think so. Yeah, I'll wait and see how that works for you. I'll just go over here, or I'm going to ignore it and keep on going. And some people continued to do that. And some people were fine and others were not. And every person who wasn't fine was terrifying because we'd never seen it before. And there were no instructions. And there was no one to mirror. And to make matters worse than that, we had no idea when it was going to end. You know, if you go to a movie theater, you know, you can look it up. How long is the movie? Okay, so you go 20 minutes early to buy popcorn and a whole bunch of other stuff. And then you go find your seats and you sit down and you watch the movie. And then it's over. And we all moo our way out of the building. And we get in our cars or we walk down the street or we get on our bicycles and we go home. We understand the drill. We know how it works. We've been there before. And if we haven't, the person we're with says, and then we do this. And then we go there. And the bathroom's down that hallway. And we sit on the chairs and face the front. We try not to make too much noise because everybody else is here too. We learn by observing and copying, imitating, mirroring the people who know what they're doing. Every day, everywhere, all the time. In the pandemic, we didn't know. Scary, confusing, shocking, frustrating, exhausting. We lost jobs. We lost loved ones. We lost friends. We lost the way we go to work. We lost the way people like us do things like this. And we had no new instructions. And it was demoralizing. And a lot of people said, I'm just going to stay home. I'll try to find some other work. I don't know what to do. Businesses closed. People lost their homes. There were homeless people because of the pandemic. Why? Because we didn't have a plan in place and we didn't have people who'd been there before to show us how it's done. We had no mirror to look into. We had no way to develop our own superpower. We were basically set adrift, little boats without any rudders on an open sea. Really scary. And that's when I started interviewing people. I started asking them what had happened in their lives that changed things for them. I wasn't talking about the pandemic. I was talking about them and their lives before the pandemic. What had happened to them that they had been saying, you know, it's not that bad. And then one day they said, yeah, you know what? It's that bad. And I'm famous for saying change is only hard when we didn't think of it, when it's somebody else's idea. You know, when I decide to dye my hair lime green, I'm all in till I see it. For everybody else, it's like, whoa. Okay, but when I thought of it, I thought, hey. And then when I saw it, I said, oh, hey, let's go back and get that other color and see if we can fix that. When there's nothing to mirror, we don't know where to find a mirror to look into, to follow, to learn, to grow, to thrive. Scary stuff, right? Pivotry. It has to be about how we shift. And as I was talking to Gaetan Lacasse, my friend who has the dog agency, they train dogs to work with people with post-traumatic stress and chronic traumatic stress. And I think it's brilliant because the one thing I know for sure is that we're going to need a lot more dogs anytime now. And what he was saying was the dogs live in the present. The dogs are here for us. The dogs are confident. The dogs are trained. When the dog senses that we're going to have an episode of some kind, the dog simply touches us. That disrupts our brain track. We focus on the dog. The dog is calm. We mirror the dog. The dog is calm. We mirror the dog. The dog is there for us as a pattern interrupt when we are about to have an episode. That's how it works. That's the magic. And I said, We mirror the dog. And he said, that's right. And I said, and what happens if it's not PTSD? I said, what happens if it's collective trauma? What happens if it's collective trauma because there is no mirror? And then Gaten said, that's why we have you. I said, I'm not the mirror. And he said, well, you are. You are, but more important than that, more importantly than a mirror, which holds you hostage to them and them hostage to you. What you really are is the portal. What you do in person with people is show them how easy it is to walk through, to claim your superpower, to find the mirror that works for you. That's what you do. That's what you do at all your live events. You create the portal and people just walk on through. Best time ever. And I said, it kind of feels, he said, of course. He said, you're an entertainer. The entertainer creates a portal. We go to see shows, we go to see entertainment in order to have our pattern interrupted, in order to get up off the couch and put on our pants and get in the car and go someplace and do something nice for us, instead of just sitting there and saying, I can't be bothered. I don't have the energy. We reach out for pattern interrupts to give us the momentum to carry us across the threshold. And you are the portal. You are the path. You don't own the way they feel. You're showing them where to look, where to go, what to do. You show them how it works. You show them by showing. You don't waste your time telling. And every single one of them that comes to your booth experiences it. And I said, is it working with the videos too? And he said, oh, sure. Are they talking to you? Are they reaching out and saying, I love what you said about this? Yeah. Okay, then. He said, you better get on these workshops. They're waiting for you. They want to know how it's done. They want to connect with you. And I said, yeah. Yeah. And so the reason I'm back at Fanaticon this year, of course, is the fans. Of course, is the experience. Of course, is this wonderful day. This is the 4th time we're doing it. Yay. Of course, I'm going to go on television this Friday afternoon and talk to Derek Fage on Daytime Ottawa, Daytime Rogers. Of course, I'm going to show him and tease the audience with the cool stuff that's going to be there that Lance has put together. Of course, I'm going to introduce who the celebrity guests are this year. Of course, I'm going to show him what I'm bringing to my booth. I might also be bringing a feather boa. I might also be escorting him through the portal without him knowing it. I might be doing that. Who knows? Don't tell him. We'll make it our secret. He'll never see it coming. Why am I doing it? Because it's confusing. It's exhausting. We're not having any fun because we don't know where the portal is. We can't find the mirror that works for us. So I'm going to show you. Because the only thing that is wrong right now has nothing to do with thee or me. We're just using the wrong mirror. We're using the only mirror we thought we had. And that's not our fault. That's not our guilt. That's not our bad. We needed a different mirror. We needed different instructions. And here's the reason why. And I'm hoping that some of this resonates. I'm hoping that what I say next is going to make you go, bingo. Here it is. If the mirror you're looking through is the one you've always used, it hasn't been updated. It hasn't been reset to give you the tools to deal with our now normal. It's the wrong mirror. It's shattered. It's distorted. That mirror reflects what was. We need the mirror that shows us who we are and who we can be, because we have the superpower. It comes with us. We come equipped, thee and me. We know how to be the people we're meant to be. We just don't know where the tool is. And I have the portal to show you. And this year, the two things we're adding to the booth are going to give you an opportunity to say, oh my, there it is. Which is why, what is your superpower? We all have one. Please tell me. It's time for us to take back. I'm walking here. I got this. It's time for us to stop mirroring people who are stuck back there, focused on what was. It's time to start mirroring positivity, opportunity. It's time to welcome our magic. It's time to say, well, that was a journey. It's over. It's back there. Remember why the dogs have such power to help us. It's because the dog is in the moment. Dogs don't have history. They don't focus on the future. Their brain isn't wired that way. The dog is in the moment. That's why when we leave, they have no idea what just happened. And they run around trying to figure out where we are. It's what? And they say to themselves, I'll just sit here. This is where it works. So I'll just sit here. I might have some separation anxiety. I might eat a few things, but basically I'm going to be here. We need to learn from that. We need to give ourselves permission to be in the moment, focused on what is. All the possibility that is right here with us, in front of us. We don't need to go to a special other place. We have all of the tools. They're right here. All we have to do is choose to say, yep, that was tough. That was tough. And we made it. Here we are. How bad was it? It kind of doesn't matter anymore. Why doesn't it matter? Of course it matters. Well, it mattered. It mattered because it was a journey, and it was a burden, and it was a set of tasks. And we completed them. And now here we are. And today is our day, right now, in this moment, together. August 13th, at the Ottawa Conference Center. I'm in booths 36 and 37. I am right beside the stage. I want you to come and see me. I want to show you your mirror. I want to guide you through the portal to claim your superpower. And after that, I want you to come and see my one-woman show. I want you to think about feeling better, feeling stronger, feeling the power you already own. That's what I want. That's what I'm working for. And I want you to come with me. I mean, you're already fanatics. And I have a very big boat. Okay, lovelies. That's it for today. I hope you love the idea of it's not me, it's the wrong mirror. I really do. Well, good morning, Eddie. Better late than never. Always better late than never. Always. So today we talked about mirrors, Eddie, and I know you're going to enjoy when you listen back and watch back because it's a lot of good stuff. The mirror is not the magic. We are the magic. The mirror is a reflection of our superpower. It is not who we are. It is reflecting back to us what we see. And we get to choose the mirror every day. Cool, right? I think so. All right. So Thursday, I have some exciting stuff to share. It's going to be fabulous. And I want to remind you all that if you're watching this on YouTube, you are going to need to go over to Facebook to see the FanaticCon link, to go to the webpage, to get your tickets, to find out the details. I can tell you that the doors for the VIPs open at 10 o'clock on Sunday, August the 13th. Regular admission is at 11. The show goes until 5 o'clock. The cosplay contest is around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I think. And so they have wonderful cosplay opportunities, both for big people and small people. Children are admitted free. The ticket price, my gosh, the ticket price is so inexpensive for regular admission. It's $15. It's incredible how affordable it is. Parking is free. All you need to do is get there. Okay. When you're coming into Ottawa, if you're from Ottawa, you're coming in out of town. You're exiting off the Queensway at the Vanier Parkway. Okay. You're exiting at the Vanier Parkway, and it is the first set of lights after the exit. And you turn right. You'll see the Marriott Hotel. You'll see the Hampton Inn. You'll turn right, and you'll immediately turn right again. Just on the other side of the huge parking lot is the baseball stadium. So there's lots of good landmarks. It's the Ottawa Conference Center, and you'll be able to find it very, very easily. Okay. So I want to see you there if you can be there. And if not, we're going to have our phones on. I hope we're going to be able to be streaming some of it so you can grab little snippets of what we're doing. It's really a hectic time. I've had to add a second photographer because my first photographer, I thought he was spinning so fast. I thought he was going to disappear. Poof, gone. So we have two photographers, and we have other people who are going to be bringing their cameras to record stuff. It's very much an interactive booth. So I still need a volunteer. I actually need two. Okay. So if you're watching and you're part of the community and you think you'd like to spend time in the booth with me, I have a need for two volunteers. One is to help me admin the sale of all the stuff, and the other is my feather boa wrangler, which is a great job. Okay. So let me know. You can message me. You can ask Lance, if you're on the FanaticCon website, how to get in touch with me. He'll know. And today's the 1st and the show is on the 13th. We're almost there. Thank you for watching these videos. Thank you for making such a difference. Thank you for being my fanatics. You make everything possible. Seriously, you really do. So you know the drill. Be good to thee. It's all you all the time. And remember to hug your loved ones. And I will see you very soon. Thanks for watching. Mwah.